A few days back, the leaders of East African Community met in Nairobi, hosted by Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of Kenya, to discuss about the issues of DRC Congo against M23. And do you think EAC regional force is able to stabilize DRC or Democratic Republic of Congo? Don't miss today. You are live at Elite Bands Uganda with Rionija Victor, always giving you updates all over the world, East African, Uganda, everywhere you go you find us. With the very gentleman you are seeing here. You are live at Elite Bands Uganda.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as usual, I'm on Mark, and we are always willing to give you the updates as they happen. So, thank you for watching. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, enjoy the show, and always remember to subscribe, follow us on our social media platforms like Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, with Rionija Victor giving you updates all over the world. Do we want to stop giving you this story? For real, for sure. You have to appreciate our times. We are sacrificing our time to come here and give you updates about this issue. Don't miss up. Follow us. Let's tap on for a short break, and we come up with the full or brief story about the East African meeting in Nairobi. Thank you.
Brands Uganda for better quality in graphic designing, photography, videography, animation, branding, digital marketing, and website designing. Find us on social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. For more inquiries, contact us on 0705 28 9442 or on 0775 974308. Elite Brands Uganda, quench your thirst.
Yeah, you are welcome from a short break, and I'm on Mark.
Yes.
What does East African Regional Force mean?
Thank you very much. It is a good question.
Yeah.
Asked the right person.
Yeah.
The East African Regional Force is the force that comprises of the East African member state countries, that is Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, and DRC, of course. You might be wondering why I have not mentioned Rwanda. Yes, of course. We must take note that it was the president of East African Community, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, who made the call for the East Africa to jointly make an army to tackle the issue of DRC. But this call was met with mixed reactions, especially with the DRC president, who said that among the armies that are going to come, there should not be an element of Rwandan army.
Wait a moment. East African Regional Forces, does it have a base where they stand, or where they meet, or where they?
Yes, of course. East Africa is an integrated regional segment that comprises of these countries. So the basement is from the countries where they come from. So after a meeting, they will converge in a given place that will be most probably provided to us in the near future, and they will head to the DR to tussle out with the M23. However, the M23 are not fearing that the East African Community has joined the effort to wipe them out.
So they don't want to mind, they don't want to care about the meeting, about the outcomes.
Yeah, when they were asked by one of the journalists in Uganda, Major Wile Ngoma, who is the spokesperson of M23, said that they are not scared of the regional
meeting
force,
in Nairobi.
The regional force, if it comes.
So they don't want.
It means they are ready to face.
They are ready to face
any repercussions.
Yeah.
So for them, remember they besieged. They took control over the border on the side of DRC. However, we saw
They took M23.
took the control of the border of DRC.
DRC and what? And Rwanda or
The
Uganda?
whole border.
The whole border.
When you are in DRC, that's the eastern border of DRC.
Okay.
Yeah, so they took control of it, and they are in control now.
They are in control. So
Yes,
that's
as
where
we talk
my
now.
my question comes now. If we saw the meeting last few days back,
Yes.
can it stabilize?
The attempts to stabilize DRC.
Can it stabilize DRC?
Attempts to stabilize DRC have been quite a lot. Starting from the UN, you have the joint army, Uganda has been fighting DRC, Rwanda has been fighting DRC. So the attempts to stabilize eastern DRC has been there, but we might see something different as we are having different countries, different army from different countries. We are going to give them a chance. Let's give them a chance and see what happens, what they can do. Yes, and to our viewers who are wondering, what can it do? What can the joint army do?
Yeah.
Given the fact that it is a joint army, it is headed by majors and whatever rank from their different countries.
Plus even presidents, because they are now included, they are the ones who say
But
sat down
I want
and
you
discuss
to
about that
remember. I want you to remember that DRC, through the DRC president, they do
Felix
not.
Tshisekedi.
Yes, they do not want any element of any kind from Rwanda.
Any element.
Any element.
So Rwandan soldiers are not included.
They are not included.
Well,
Yes. So this joint cooperation, we can give it a try. Let's see what they can do. Remember, DRC has joined East Africa of recent. It is not very far. So shortly after they are joining EAC, we see them.
Actually, there are 3 countries who started that.
Yes, we see
Uganda,
Kenya and
and
Tanzania.
Tanzania.
So after DRC joining, we see it on tension with Rwanda. However, on our last video, we covered the genesis of the M23. So if you did not watch that video, you can kindly go back and watch in order to link up with this video.
With this video.
Yes, so we will be following the developments on these stories of EAC joining to fight in DRC.
So, Mr. Amon Mark,
Yes.
what are the outcomes or what are those issues that those presidents of East African community discussed on and what did they come out with?
Given the recent tensions, of course they were
Because
major.
some of our viewers, they are there, they want to know what we are there.
This meeting took place in Nairobi, Kenya. It was hosted by Uhuru Kenyatta, who is
Kenya.
Yes, who is the president of East African Community as we talk.
Well,
Yes, so we saw President Museveni of Uganda joining in. However, the president of
was only President Museveni?
no, even all East African presidents were there apart from that of
Paul
Rwanda.
Kagame of
Yes,
Rwanda.
because he was hosting the Chogam,
Well,
so it would be hard for him to leave.
so he had his issues also.
Yes, so we can't blame him for not attending because he was occupied with already the so on the
But
what you
do
asked,
you think DRC's president Felix Tshisekedi would be happy if he saw Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, also being included in that meeting? Because they are pointing Rwanda of supporting M23 soldiers has died because of that scuffle between Rwanda and the DRC.
as an analyst and somebody who has seen many negotiations, I think it would be very good for Tshisekedi to sit with Kagame and talk, it would be good. However, you asked me a question that what were in the meeting.
Yeah.
So our viewers are waiting. So let's proceed. In the meeting, there was, of course, the tensions in DRC, the M23 taking over the eastern border of DRC with Uganda and Rwanda. So that was a thing on the agenda, because we saw the outcome was that a joint army should go and wipe out M23 and whatever they call themselves. And another thing was to disarm every citizen of DRC.
Go ahead.
Disarming means you're taking away their guns.
Oh, disarming? I'm
Yes.
not getting away.
Disarming is that you go to a community that is militarized. DRC has been militarized.
So DRC or East Africa Community or M23, who are those that are trying to disarm?
East African Community Regional Force, after fighting the M23, another obligation is that it will disarm. You have seen disarmament in Uganda, in northern Uganda, UPDF disarming people. It is one way of stabilizing a community that has been militarized. So in DRC, we are going to see the East African Community Regional Force disarming people, disarming those captured M23 to come down.
Wait a moment, I ask you some small question. If they disarm those people with guns, with what and what, don't you think it may cause more problems in DRC? Why? That's why I'm asking why. Because we all know DRC is one of the richest countries with minerals. In East Africa, actually, I think it's the number one country. It's the leading country with minerals. So don't you think it may cause problems to people? Because some people, some rebel groups may start even going there.
No, the issue is that the East African Community Regional Force.
Now, after disarming them,
after disarming them, the president or the leadership of DRC, Kinshasa, will take control of the region. That is, including the decentralization part of it. You bring power back down to the village level. So, with the disarmament, removing, because the guns will be in the hands of a few who are recognized. They say the policemen, army officers. So the people will no longer be having arms to create chaos. So let's give it a try. Let's see what the East African army can do there. It can. I'm sure. I'm pessimistic that East African Regional Force can stabilize the DRC eastern part.
Within a few days, it can be stabilized.
Not a few days. This thing can take quite. There is rehabilitation. You have to rehabilitate those people who have been disarmed. Of course, somebody who has lived on a gun, just taking away his gun and say you go to the community.
It's not an easy someone giving away like
so after taking away the gun, remember this person might have been feeding on a gun. So you have to teach him how to live without a gun.
It also process.
So it will also be a process. I think the East African community has got to dig deeper in their pockets to fund this disarmament and stabilization of East African, the DRC. Yes. And they also, the bridge between Rwanda and DRC should be bridged. There should not be tensions, because those are brothers and sisters.
Actually, East African community, for us, we all believe we are the same people. So
given the fact that you'll find many Rwandan language speaking people around DRC, you'll find many DRC people in Uganda, you'll find many DRC people in Rwanda. So
and we have and you find them talking some language that you find some Congolese speaking Kinyarwanda. You find some Ugandan speaking what? speaking in Rwanda. You find some Banyarwanda from Rwanda speaking Uganda, even some speaking
Ruchiga.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a lot of commonality between the countries.
You're like the same people, so we have those things.
Yeah, the languages are interrelated. Of course, we all come from the same region. So that relationship should be mended because the people of Rwanda and DRC have no problem. It is between the disagreements between the leaders. So it should be wiped out, and we see the population moving on, the East Africa growing further, bigger and bigger. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Amon, thank you very much for being with us at Brands Uganda, and thank you for always being updated. Actually, I appreciate you for that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I love you for all what you do to make people be aware of what is taking place in East African community, actually all over the world, because we are not stopping on DRC, Rwanda, Uganda, actually in East Africa. No, we are doing it globally. Yeah. Thank you for watching at Brands Uganda, and always remember to subscribe, follow with Elite Brands Uganda. We love you. I'm Mr. Amon Mark.
Yes.
Do you have anything you feel like you want to tell these people about?
Is that continue the love of watching our shows, continue to subscribe, and continue to love one another for the good of our countries. One
or two words for a wise person who is following. By the way, before coming to that, what advice would you give those people?
The Rwanda, DRC, is that it is better to agree before you disagree. Because when you disagree after agreeing, you can always trace back where you went wrong. So it is not good to disagree before you agree, because it is hard to know where you have gone wrong. So I think the M23 and East African forces, I think they should not use force. There should be they should be willing to cooperate and see the good out of it. Yes, but should peaceful means fail, of course, as they say, force is up. A minimal force is applied. Yes, so we grieve with those people who have lost their lives over the tensions and those refugees. We call upon the people around Kisoro, especially those who are hosting refugees from DRC, treat them as brothers and sisters from DRC. What is in their country is just situational. It will come down and they will go back. And if they are willing to stay around, please let them stay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Amon, for being a good analyst. Yeah. Failure never comes in the mind of a successful person. Always try to work hard. Thank you for watching Brands Uganda. We love you.
Brands Uganda, for better quality in graphic designing, photography, videography, animation, branding, digital marketing, and website designing. Find us on social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. For more inquiries, contact us on 0705 28 9442 or on 0775 974308. Elite Brands Uganda, quench your thirst.